Today's programming is brought to you by NCTV45 and NC Radio 450, Newcastle's community television station.
And that would be touchdown, Laurel, to start the game.
Wait, it was thrown up in the air. Is that a flag?
No, it's legit. It's good, yes. Oh, there is a flag in the end zone. Oh, boy.
Can you pay attention to the game?
I'm watching the game. Let's see
No,
what
you're
the call
not
is.
watching the game.
I'm watching the Uh-oh. Officials.
What's the call here? This will be
a big penalty. Because the heavens are going to open up after this touchdown, and it's going to be a sloppy, wet game.
Well, let me just say this. Laurel, I think they're doing a great job because there's 7:34 left or remaining in the first
Touchdown.
quarter.
Personal foul against Aliquippa.
So that'll be
The touchdown is good. That puts the Spartans up 6-0, and we're going to try for a point after.
well, as I was mentioning, they controlled the ball for the last 5 or 6 minutes.
From the kickoff, from the opening kickoff, they drove right down the field.
And
They seem to be running more like a spread option type of offense. A lot of passing. They went right down the field. They
they
marched
did.
right down
And
the
how
field.
about some of the catches?
Yeah,
these guys made?
converted a key fourth down.
See, this is great. This is great. You want action? We're giving you action. We're not giving you all the in-between stuff. We're giving you right now. We showed you
This
the
just
touchdown.
happened.
Yeah, this just happened.
That just happened. Wow, these officials sure do take their time.
That's absolutely right.
Hey, it's everybody's second game.
So Shenango's looking good.
Now we do
After
seem
beating Western Beaver last week,
Yeah, Shenango. They've switched uniforms to a Laurel Spartan.
these are their home uniforms.
Oh, home greens, huh?
Wow!
Nice kick.
Look at
Kick
this.
is good. So that would be
Go ahead.
Laurel 7, Aliquippa nothing with 7 minutes and 34 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
And guess what?
We just had touchdown Aliquippa. They had a nice, 60-yard drive. Nice quarter fade route to the wide receiver. Laurel looks very outmatched right now on the defensive side of the ball.
And Aliquippa had overcome a couple penalties.
Yeah, a couple personal foul penalties, a holding penalty, set him back, but Aliquippa looks like a machine on offense right now. They just kind of march right down the field. Coming for the point after. They look really good.
Yeah.
Laurel just looks undersized.
They're playing hard.
Yeah.
They're playing very hard. But again, with the size and speed and skill of Aliquippa, we're in the back. Are we being serious?
We were being serious. We were giving
Shenango's good too.
quality. Yeah, Shenango was great. Oh, they're going for 2.
And they
And
got
they
it.
got it.
Got it.
So your score, with 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter, Aliquippa 8, Laurel 7. End of the first quarter, Aliquippa 8, Laurel 7. Even though the score would indicate that it's a pretty close game,
So far,
Aliquippa looks very dominant on both sides of the ball.
but it's 8-7. People will say it's 8-7, Jay, from the Jay and Jay show.
I'm
Hey, every
trying.
morning.
Tune in at NCTV45.com.
Yeah. Hey,
No, I'm trying to give them some insight on the football game because they're not here. So yeah, the score would indicate that it's a very close game, but in reality, Aliquippa is dominating both sides of the ball.
and they have overcome some personal foul penalties
Two
and
of
things of that nature. Yeah,
And a
but
holding call.
But
So
you-
technically that 60-yard drive was more like a 95-yard drive.
I like Laurel has been able to move the ball at
Yes, they
times.
have. At times. They're relying on a very pass-heavy offense, but they do look good. They're running that spread option, read option type offense. But they do look good. They're executing pretty well, but I think Aliquippa's size is going to wear them down eventually.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's going to be 3 more quarters to go, and I'm glad he's the optimist though, out of the 2 of us. Is that light? Why is that light? Can you get?
That's lightning.
It's
Is
not.
that better?
Yeah, that's
for you?
better. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sorry. Hey, I'm not a cameraman. Okay.
Hey,
I got a
Angelo,
selfie
hey,
stick.
Angelo, I
Hey,
hope you're
send
enjoying
us a
yourself
camera.
at Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send us a
I
camera
saw
next
you. He took his camera
Oh, so he can move the camera for himself, but he can't move it for us.
when we want to do our shows on location for our great sponsors. Like,
Okay, let's get back to football.
all right.
You wanted me to do a sponsor? Really?
Well, isn't this the
Confluence.
crane room?
No, that's weather. Crane room weather.
How about the Cedars?
Cedar Sports Corner. Yes,
Yes!
it could be Cedar Sports Corner.
Go
So,
Shenango.
from Laurel, it's 8-7 Aliquippa at the end of the first quarter. Aliquippa's going to win big.
A special thanks to Paul D. Weller Hardware in Mahoningtown for providing funding for this program. Thanks to Arlington Market, 726 Arlington Avenue, Newcastle, PA. Groceries, lunch meat, fresh cut meats, produce. It's Arlington Market who provided funding for this program. Today's program was furnished by a grant from the Beanery Depot and Deli, featuring coffee, made-to-order subs, and snacks. The Beanery Depot and Deli in Mahoningtown. Today's program furnished by funding from Bill's Bake Shop, where smiles are everywhere. Today's program furnished by funding from Gallows Italian Villa, Wilmington Road, Newcastle.
Touchdown, Aliquippa.
Are you going to pay attention to me? I told you to get it. He was going
The
to score.
officials didn't signal it. The officials got their heads up their butts tonight. Aliquippa's going for 2 to stretch their lead to 16-7. Oh, he's got him.
No.
Nope.
Good job, Laurel. Laurel's
Nice job.
playing hard.
Laurel's playing very hard.
It's 14-7, 9:50 left in the second quarter. This is Cedars.
Cedar Sports Corner, it might as well be. It is now.
It is?
It is now.
But don't
We just
give
made
us-
it.
Who?
We just made it Cedar Sports Corner.
And you know what? Before we came out here, we had gotten some coffee at
From the Confluence.
And,
Dixie wasn't there, though.
no, she wasn't there. Mike was. And we had pizza at Little Johnny's. Little Johnny's
Pizza
too
was
downtown.
fantastic.
It's delicious. Mwah.
Mwah.
Bravo, bravo with the pizza. Hey, where's Angelo?
14-7. Angelo.
Is
went-
it Newcastle and Montour?
Yeah. So what were you saying?
No, the guy. Did you hear him in the
Yeah,
background?
yeah,
He goes,
I heard
"Oh
him.
my God!" I mean, he was
Well,
very
he's
upset.
been yelling. He was yelling the whole way around. Come on!
Yeah.
Come on!
He did the same. I'm telling you, when I was at the Lawrence County Fair, he did the same thing to his cow. He goes,
yelling
"Come
at his
on!"
cow?
Yeah, he goes, "Come on!"
Well, what's the cow supposed to do? Like,
I-
be more cow-like?
He said milking the cow was on his bucket list.
I'm utterly confused.
Oh no! Don't! Are you Angelo? Yes. We'll be back. We'll be back. I can't believe.
Today's programming furnished by a grant from Chalala and Carney Florist on Mill Street in Newcastle. Special thanks to Butts, Flowers, Gifts, and More in downtown Newcastle for their support and funding of this program. Butts Flowers, downtown Newcastle. Today's programming was provided from funding from the Crane Room Grill and Banquet Center, 3009 Wilmington Road. A special thanks to the Crane Room for their participation. Programming provided through funding from Daimio and Olson Law Group, with offices in Elwood City and in Newcastle in the Washington Center. Daimio and Olson Law Group. Special thanks to Little Johnny's 2 downtown, who provided funding for this program.
As you can tell by the music in the background, Aliquippa has scored again. The route is effectively on.
Yes, it is now 28-7. Again, it looks like Aliquippa's going to go for 2.
They apparently don't have a kicker.
Or they don't
my
need
assumption.
one. They got one of the best running backs in WPIL.
That
What happened?
wasn't-
Too many guys on the field, whatever. Is that a
Timeout.
penalty, or-
They call it timeout.
Timeout.
Timeout quips.
Laurel-
Number whoever and we're obviously very shoddy. We don't even have a program for players' names, but number
We don't need
88,
'em.
number 88, the tight end, just scored for Aliquippa, and he is a load. We're just a little bit off the field, and we could hear some pads popping. And
He took a shot. Let me explain something to you. He took a shot head on. You could hear the pop. Yes? You could hear the pop. And it was as if he said one of these, brush it off. You know what I'm talking about? That's right, brothers and sisters. Just brush it off. Because that's what he did. He scampered about 25 yards
Yes, he did.
for a touchdown. Let me do that one more time.
brush it off. Fact.
Wow.
It's obvious that Laurel is very overmatched on both sides of the ball. They just don't have the size. They don't have the speed. Aliquippa has been sloppy.
But it isn't always about that, my friend. How about not
What is
giving
it?
up? Well, because-
Execution?
Right, so they're going to get the ball. It's going to be 30-7. Okay?
Well, if they get the 2-point
They
conversion.
get the ball back. You know what you do? You just stay in. You play as hard as you possibly can. That's what you want to teach your kids.
And work on something for next week.
Right.
Because this game's
No,
over.
they got the 2-point conversion.
They got the 2-point conversion. Is now 30-7. Aliquippa with 4 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the first half.
30-7.
30-7.
Good evening and welcome to, where are we again? Laurel?
Laurel.
Laurel High School?
Yes.
In Newcastle?
Not Nishannick or Shenango.
No.
We're at Laurel.
Yeah, and we're with probably one of the best football teams in the country, Aliquippa. Would you guys agree?
Yes,
And
The best band in the land.
the best band in the land.
No, it's a man.
You know it. Look, I got like
Got
over here. I
shout
got
outs
Tupac
over here.
over here.
Look
with
at
all
this
the-
guy. He's throwing shout
Stick it
outs.
out right there for me. Hey, introduce yourselves, please, and the instrument that you play. Nice and flat. Angel on cymbals.
My name's Jalen, and I play the quads. My name's Jabari Roscoe, and I'm captain of the drum line.
Nice.
My name is Dre, and I play the snare drum.
My name is Julius Kirkland. I'm captain of the trumpets.
Trumpet.
So listen, I watched them at halftime. They did a great job. So I'm going to step out and let them do something for 10, 15, 20 seconds. This is, you know what, they always interview the football coach.
Always.
Always.
The football
captain of
team,
the football team.
the football
Get
coach.
lost. We want to interview these guys. You ready?
Ready?
Excuse me for 1 second. Enjoy Aliquippa, the Quips.
Special thanks to Mary's Restaurant, Long Avenue, Newcastle, PA, featuring Middle Eastern food. Mary's Restaurant. Today's programming was provided through funding from DiCaprio Cleaners. DiCaprio Cleaners in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. This program furnished by a grant from Ferrone Brothers. 2 locations, Newcastle on Mill Street and Wilmington Road in Newcastle. This program furnished by a grant from Keystone Specialty, Newcastle's party store on Mill Street in Newcastle. Today's program was paid for by a grant from Pegley's Pasta and More, East Washington Street in Newcastle. Funding provided by Main Street Clothiers and Tailors, Washington Street, Newcastle.
Well, as you can tell, J&J are at a blowout. The rain's coming down.
Yeah, Angelo.
The band's playing.
Fantastic band.
It's-
Aliquippa, baby.
46-14. The Clips are running all over the Spartans.
Yeah, it reminds me of that movie, Last of the 300 Spartans.
Thanks for the rain, Padula. You're the
Angelo.
best. You're in a nice warm media booth.
Yeah,
Again,
but Ken LeBeau.
no media tags. We
Go
don't know what it is.
Shenango.
It's Laurel.
Oh,
Say bye.
ladies and gentlemen, and now, Aliquippa's band.
Hit it, guys. Welcome back to a barn burner.
It's the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter.
Four.
4 is a popular number because it is 46-14.
I predicted 44-14, so I'm right on it. Vegas, eat your heart out, baby.
But there's a whole nother quarter to play.
Oh,
Other than that, you're golden. So that's the Fighting Quips, 46. The Spartans of Laurel, 14. And Padula is going to Vegas.
how
Rolling
about
it all.
that band that we had?
That band was fun.
Good kids,
Parada.
Aliquippa's band. Beautiful.
Parada, you better hook it up.
Yeah, you
Because
better hook
band
it up.
parents are expecting big things from us.
Yeah, and put that sausage sandwich down.
Jerk in the press booth.